Been a major debate about when is the best time to pull your annual containers. Should you pull your annual containers when they're looking like this, or should you wait and change out your annual containers when it's time or best for you in your garden? So for me, I like to go off of what my schedule is. Now, oftentimes I will flip an area from one season to the next early. I also like to do transitional looks in my garden. Some may argue that the kale could have still stayed in the container and lasted all the way into the springtime. I went ahead and I pulled my kale and I tossed my kale because my kale is here in this concrete urn. And I want to make sure that I preserve my concrete pieces. They're very expensive. So I want to make sure I'm being a good steward of them. So what I like to do, I like to go in and make sure that my fountain here is cleaned out from one season to the next. And I also like to go in and I like to pull out whatever soil is left in the reservoir here. These containers that I pulled over here in this area, those are all terracotta. Now, in order to prevent your terracotta from cracking and chipping during the winter time, you want to try to prevent as much freezing and thawing as possible. So because I live in the St. Louis region, one day we could be in the 30s and then the next day you could turn around during the winter time and you're in the 60s and it feels like you're in the spring. You can't tell one season from the next. What I wanted to do was come in here, pull these out, and they were on their last leg. I don't like to keep plants in containers that long. I would rather pull them when they look good versus when they're looking like this, because it really is an eyesore. I'm gonna head inside real quick because I have a few areas that I want to switch out and I want to plant up a beautiful container. My amaryllis bulbs, I'm trying to perfect them to where I can really make them bloom so quick. And I've been showing you guys, giving you all little tidbits here and there on how I'm making that possible. And already, I just showed you guys in a previous video how my amaryllis bulbs looked. And guess what? They're already in bloom. So what I want to do, let's switch those plants around, move them to the new area, and then we're going to plant up a beautiful container, and then we'll come back outside and finish what we're doing in this area here. This ensemble of plants is over here on the sideboard. I want to take those down in preparation for what I'm going to be doing for the holidays. So I have a place where I can swap these out at. Now, the smaller myrtle was up underneath the grow light, so I do like to give my myrtles time up underneath the light when I have them out on display, and then I bring them back and I put them in their place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start moving these containers out, and then that way we can get them on the table where they need to be going. Actually, let's prep the table first. A simple terracotta pot. Now I have these amaryllis bulbs here, and if you guys remember, this is one of the amaryllis bulbs that we planted up, and we were not able to identify what type of amaryllis this was. So this is a apple blossom bloom right here. But what we're going to do, we're going to come in, we're going to plant a real simple container just to grace the table. I wanted to plant this container up so no matter what angle it's sitting at on the location where it's going to be going, when you walk by, you can see a beautiful bloom. Now, I came in and I used the topsy-turvy cyclamen. I absolutely love that, and I feel like it really complements the amaryllis bulb well. Now, the amaryllis bulb is bringing out those shades and hues of pink, and the topsy-turvy, you can see, depending on which phase of bloom that it's in, you can see the variations of pinks drifting all the way down into the magenta family. I love it. In the bottom, we're met with the beautiful foliage or foliage of the cyclamen. Drop down in the comment box and let me know what you think about this beautiful, simple arrangement. See how fast our amaryllis bulbs are coming out of production. This is what I have been working on. This is what I have been taking notes on. So recently in our last video, we were in the plant room, we were working, and now here a few days later, and actually this one right here and this one right here, I can actually go ahead and clip those off. But just for demonstration purposes, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to keep them on. It would be better for the bulb for you to go ahead and remove these. Instead of it putting energy into hanging onto this flower, it's going to make sure it continues to send up as many bloom stock as it has stored down inside of the bulb. Can you see this right here? So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to clip this off so the amaryllis bulb is not focused on making seeds. And then if I turn this a little bit to the side, you can also see where I come in and I just take this off. And so now we're left with these blooms right here. And if it's anything unsightly that you really don't want to keep on, so like this leaf stock, This was covering the bloom before it came out, so we can take that off. Anything that you don't feel like is sightly on your arrangement, feel free to go ahead and go in and take it off. So let's get this on its place. Now we'll just water it in. We're going to start transitioning this area to its new look. Now, throughout the summertime, I was extremely satisfied with the way that this area looked. The springtime, I mean, I really cannot complain. We put in a lot of work over here. But we have some terracotta, and we've been slowly moving the terracotta out of this area. I want to finish by moving the rest of the terracotta out. And then, of course, since we're moving something out, we're always going to be moving something in. So let's go over here real quick. Let me know, what do you think about the placement of these pots over here in this area? Let me get the dolly out of here. I would love to know what you're doing in your gardens. I love to read the comments from you all. Let me know down in the comment box, have you been trying some of the tips and tricks that I'm sharing with you all on how I get my amaryllis from bulb to bloom even faster? Because you guys can see that we were just working with the amaryllis. We were turning them around to the light. You can see that we already have blooms with those amaryllis bulbs.